Welcome to another episode of Extraordinary Leadership Podcast. In the last episodes, you have heard me speaking about ease and flow, leading from ease and flow, aligning your energy, mastering your energetical alignment inside. And I believe we have a couple of episodes that talk about energy itself, how important it is. And important for your well-being, of course, but especially for your leadership impact, for building highly performing, engaged teams, as well as growing your business and organization to the next level. And in this episode, I want to focus on what is behind the scenes. What are the key ingredients, the key secrets that really create magic for leading and navigating your organization, yourself, your team with more ease and flow. And it is about balancing and aligning your masculine and feminine energy. And I want to unpack this topic for you here in this episode, as well as leave you with hopefully inspiration to prioritize that in your leadership, because it is going to be the game changer for you, for yourself, for your team, for your organization, for your business. So let us start. Now, if we don't know each other yet, my name is Deborah Asbrick, and I am a transformational executive and leadership team coach. And I'm absolutely passionate to help senior executive leaders like yourself to step into making a bigger impact, leading meaningful change, and building highly performing teams and organizations with far more ease and flow. So obviously today, topic is very much aligned with what I call embodiment of extraordinary leadership. So let me start by unpacking what is masculine and feminine energy. Let us start with saying that each of us, doesn't matter the gender, have feminine and masculine energy inside of ourselves. And of course, in a different balance. And the more we balance this masculine energy and feminine energy together, the more we align that energy inside of us, the more we experience flow and ease, and we feel better, and achieving results or realizing our vision, navigating uncertainties and challenges is simply easier because we are in inner alignment, tapping to our best potential. Obviously, the masculine and feminine energy are important in leadership in life, and the balance between them is very important. And they are complementary, if you like. So when we are balancing them both, we are creating this inner harmony that we so much like. Now, masculine and feminine bring a different energy. So masculine is all about structure, action, boldness, focus, decisiveness, discipline, accountability, as well as planning. Versus the feminine energy is about connection, is about trust, is about intuition, is about creativity, is about flow. It's a very nurturing, trusting, and we call it receiving energy. And so when we are balancing this both, you can quickly imagine how magical it becomes for us as leaders to be able to make a union of them two and balance them two, first of all, within ourselves, so that we can be truly making a desired impact and lead our organizations to greatness with more ease. While I was explaining that, I wonder, what would be your very quick intuitive guess of which of these two sides might be in imbalance or might benefit from strengthening? We usually have this orientation of where is our area of strengths, or where we are stronger developed and feeling more comfortable between those two energies that are flowing through us and that are accessible to us. What is really the challenge with this whole masculine and feminine energy? Now, I would say the number one is really knowing more deeply what is that each of energy about, and also understanding in which of the areas of these energies we are today maybe compromising, lacking, having a gap, or not embracing, and which eventually, harm our well-being, our leadership impact, and our team dynamics and business growth. So even if, from a very top notch, you are able to sense which of these two energy might be your dominant one today, there are a lot of parameters behind that really makes this picture clearer for yourself that will be of value for you to go deeper, to evaluate which of these two energies actually, how does these two energies look in practice. And some of these insights you will be gaining along this episode, along this conversation today. And I want also to let you know already now that I have created an energetic assessment for leaders that comes from my work and my path and journey in embracing myself in all the energy work in the last years, and which helps you to efficiently evaluate where you are in terms of leveraging and utilizing your masculine and feminine energy, and where are the potential opportunities for strengthening in order to gain this balance and union for yourself. So if you would like to really understand deeply where is your energetical balance today, please know I'll be leaving in the description of this episode a link to schedule a conversation with me and access this assessment in this conversation. So this is how I can support you in understanding yourself better and also identifying what are the actions that you need to take forward in order to balance that both energies forward. So that is the first challenge. So I would say self-awareness, right? And assumptions that we can make around these two different energies and how these two different energies show up in our leadership life and how they influence our daily actions and behaviors. Now, the second challenge I see is that we are all having some areas of disbalance, because obviously it's coming from our conditioning, from growing into some comfort zones over the years and being comfortable in some areas more than others. And so each of us carry this slight imbalance until we really embark in this journey of balancing those two energies for ourselves. And then we really have a chance to be more in balance energetically, as well as in our leadership and obviously in life. And I would say that currently, for years, we've been very much in business operating with a dominance of a masculine energy. And it is a very important energy that helps us to move forward and be bolder. And so our feminine energy has not been really so much rising yet into our organizational leadership and into our balance. The third challenge is that by being so much used to lead from the masculine energy in our businesses, at least most of our businesses, we have also developed the over or exaggerated creating results, thriving or leveraging on that energy. And what I mean by that, we have gone in some cases to extreme and found ourselves in this vicious circle or trap of doing more and more and more and getting faster and faster and faster, which is hard for our human body and brain. And then this is also the result why we are challenged with mental health, with burnout, with lower performance, or with, not being able to actually tap to the potential of ourselves, our people we lead, and organization that we lead. So there is generally in a world a slight disbalance or bigger disbalance into this energy, with the dominance of masculine energy and overuse of that energy that keeps us in the patterns of doing more than being more. If we are overusing the masculine energy, we are ending up in a constant doing mode, doing more and more and more, that obviously drain our physical energy and mental emotional energy too. And very often can lead us to mental health issues or burnout. And those, looking at statistics, are currently challenges that we are facing in organizations. Also, overusing the masculine energy is when you are ending up chasing results, chasing goals, chasing the next thing, and losing really joy and fulfillment in the process because you are more disconnected, less present, actually. You're focusing on doing more. Also, finally, when we are overusing the masculine energy, we are overusing control and structure, which is, of course, reducing creativity, reducing flow and intuition and innovations that are so important in the business. So, on the other hand, when we are overusing our feminine energy, we mind for ourselves in being more indecisive, in avoiding really bold actions, avoiding structures in our business, avoiding strategic, bolder moves, and in the waiting pattern of finding ease within ourselves so that we can move forward with the actions. So we can, on the end, find ourselves in procrastination or fear of taking actions by overusing the feminine energy. And finally, the third type of imbalance is when we actually struggle with balancing them too. An example, typical example of that is when we struggle with planning, which is a masculine energy, and flexibility to this plan, which is the feminine energy. Or another classical example, when we struggle with setting goals, but detaching from the outcomes. Again, masculine and feminine energy example. So those are some of examples that are common, and they're common for me, they're common for clients that I work with, for leaders I work with, in showing us how the disbalance of this energy can actually look like. And I wonder if at this moment you can identify where you might be overusing feminine or masculine energy or struggling with this balance. And I wonder if you can identify where your organizational culture also is more off. In my observations, in our organizations, we do have a tendency to actually lean on the masculine energy. And we have still a great potential to nurture, expand, and evolve in thriving and leveraging on our feminine energy. And finally, of course, making it a healthy balance. From my personal experience in the last years, discovering all about this energy and dancing in this alignment of both masculine and feminine energy, I needed to learn how to trust more my intuition and actually even access my intuition, which is a feminine energy. I needed to learn how important is the rest, strategic rest, and taking breaks, which is again feminine energy prioritizing being over doing, which is so important for our productivity and from output of the day, from the way we lead, we show up. I needed to learn how to trust more in these uncertain times, navigating business with not everything is planned and foreseeable, and how to embrace a deeper level of trust when maybe things are not going the way I want. But also I needed to learn, and I discovered it was interesting actually for me too, that how important is the structure and planning. And it's funny because, I spent 15 years in corporate organizations and where I would say a masculine energy was still a bit more dominant than feminine energy. And so there was a lot of planning and structure involved in a very process-based industry, which was very supporting the business. But when I leaned into leading my own business, I kind of wanted to ditch it, completely let go of planning. And I found myself in some stage in completely rejecting that very important aspect, which obviously backfired as well into leading my own business. So I also needed to relearn how important is that union, is that balance, is that marriage between feminine and masculine energy inside ourselves, and how each of them play an important role. Now, from my work with leaders and bringing that energy alignment and balancing masculine and feminine energy in embodiment of extraordinary leadership, I can see that there are similar challenges, key challenges that leaders are embracing. So either it is the challenge that comes from less developed masculine energy, which is about boldness, creating structure, planning, decisiveness, taking risks, taking bolder actions, but also, personal accountability and discipline. Versus I can see that leaders who are more stronger in the masculine energy and are lacking more of the feminine energy, this is where emotional intelligence, embracing empathy, learning how to tap to intuition and surrender and trust the process rather than force the results and expect is more of a challenge. But also it's about embracing coaching and it's about developing more, fostering inclusion and collaboration. That a part of feminine, embracing feminine energy and might be a bit of a challenge for some of the leaders, not to mention obviously integrating a space and time for well-being or for rest or just for being and having a lighter agenda in the day, which for some of you listening here might be at this moment unimaginable. But trust me, the union and the balance of those both energies is the magnetic key into your well-being, into your leadership impact, into your team dynamics, how your team actually respond, how your team operate, how collaborative is your team, how much motivated and engaged are the people, and how much people are growing, as well as how the business and organization is growing forward with the culture you nurture. And I believe we can all agree that, the leadership direction is to bring more of the feminine energy into this whole concept, because for years, we have been really leveraging and thriving and harnessing the masculine energy. We have been also exceeding it. That has currently also its cost. And it's a time for creating more of this balance, marrying, unifying, harmonizing masculine and feminine energy in leadership, in our organizations, in our businesses, and of course, ultimately in our lives. So how can you balance this both energies? How can you create your energetical alignment and bring more ease and flow into your leadership? Well, first of all, it's about awareness. It's about really understanding where you are today, which of the patterns of masculine and feminine energy you are already living and embodying, and which are you not, or which are you actually harmlessly and unhealthy using. Like, for example, working too much by being trapped in the doing mode, or waiting too much by being trapped in looking for a perfect moment and energetical ease and comfort in taking actions. And this is also why I created this energetic assessment, to give you efficient tangibility and transparency of where are you standing now and what might be the reasons holding you back today in achieving great results in business, with your team, motivating, steering engagement, and feeling more confident yourself. And if you're interested into taking that assessment and having a strategic conversation about that and what are your next steps, then there will be a link below in the description of this episode that will allow you to do so. So that's number one, self-awareness. Number two is embracing mind and emotions management. Well, here is the context. When you want to balance your energy, feminine and masculine energy in your leadership, you will need to go out of your comfort zone. Like embracing any other change, learning a new skill, learning a new habit, this will be exactly the same. So what does it mean? You are going to be naturally confronted with your mind sabotage very, very early on, actually at the very beginning, after you declared what you want to change. Because that's how strongly this mind sabotage is ingrained into our mind and body, serving us to keep us in our comfort zone, prevent us from change because our ego mind sees it as a risk. That's a biological mechanism that we all have as human beings. So the very important step into finding more alignment within and in your leadership and increasing your impact by balancing these two energies will be to take a driver's seat, I call it, of your mind, and specifically your mind sabotage. And of course, also being able to shift your emotions, because mind and emotions and energy are all connected. And this is also why in every journey that I accompany my clients with, I am bringing the solution of positive intelligence into the play because this is one of the most effective neuroscientific based solution that help us in an efficient way in 8 weeks or even below 8 weeks to unpack those patterns and the ways unconsciously our mind are sabotaging us and take the driver's seat in order to actually take the next steps forward and create the in aligned balance that we really desire. But let me tell you a secret here. Creating a balance is actually coming to become your true version of yourself. Because just think about it. When we are having some form of imbalance today, so either in masculine or feminine energy, this means that we are not in alignment with who we really can potentially be. The moment we find this alignment, the moment we are growing, is not the moment we're changing ourselves. Is the moment we are evolving to the version that we actually are meant to be. That is the perspective that I want to offer you here by this occasion of this podcast for this purpose and any other change you embark on. That evolving yourself, growing yourself is never about changing yourself, but ultimately is evolving to that higher potential version of yourself that can make far better and bigger and more meaningful impact and be a better leader and develop a greater culture, develop people and all of that and have a better life. So also is this creating alignment and balance between feminine and masculine energy. It's a process of getting out of your current comfort zone and growing and evolving essentially to the version of yourself who are really meant to be your true, authentic, higher version of yourself. So remember, the second part into this process, apart from awareness, what I just talked about, is about your mind sabotage and taking a driver's seat of your mind and emotions. Number 3 is, of course, developing habits. Not only habits to manage your mind and through that already foster some part of this balance and alignment of your energy, but also it's about creating habits that will help you to energetically connect with that truer version of yourself, higher version of yourself, with that feminine energy in other ways that will help you to clear your mind and access a deeper wisdom, access intuition. So for which obviously quieting your noise of the mind is so important. Practices like morning meditations, or I love to work with energetic activations, which serves that energetic alignment with that version of yourself that truly you want to become. That is, of course, far more balanced and intuitive and trusting. On the other hand, if you want to strengthen masculine, healthy masculine energy, then it's about creating structure in your days, structure in your weeks, structure in your business, creating processes, maybe getting accountability partner that can help you into taking committed and bold actions that you're declaring, that you stay really focused, getting a coach that can help you into staying in walking this path boldly, courageously. In both of the cases, is creating a habit, creating a structure for yourself, creating routines and rituals, but also supporting yourself with coaches and other practitioners and mentors that can help you, or peers even, that can help you really to embrace that change, because as every change, you're going to be challenged with it. And so the third is about creating habits, and the fourth is about creating support and ecosystem. And fifth is about embracing the habit of reflection and observation, periodical reflection, observation. Looking at how are you actually leading, how are you showing up, how you are mastering this alignment in action on a daily basis. And it can start with taking a couple of minutes every single day to add that checkpoint to your other reflection and observation along the day. For one reason, this is a perfect opportunity for you to really even celebrate the wins and show or see the growth. And on the other, it's about seeing also where you need to lean on more in balancing this masculine and feminine energy. And of course, last is taking those aligned actions, aligned, both inspiring actions so that you can move forward. And this is why embodiment of external leadership from this aligned place and stepping into the more evolved, more conscious, more empowered, more trusting, more courageous, more bold, and more compassionate at the same time version of yourself, the leader that you're really truly meant to be, and that true and authentic version that you are here meant to serve from. So if that is calling you in, the next cohort is starting 4th of February 2025. It will be in a small, safe space. The places are limited because we want to get the best experience with like-minded leaders, executives who are impact and growth driven and who share like your same challenges and aspirations. So if you are called into that program, if that is when you feel called into stepping into a more evolved next level version of yourself and serve from the place and elevate your business organization to the next level, then I invite you to look into this program and schedule a conversation with me during which you can decide which option you can join. You can see if that program is the right fit for both of us and take the next action. And I will put the link also in the description below in this episode description. And as I mentioned before, if you want to take a very first step and do the energy assessment, then I invite you also to schedule that conversation with me. So you will have 2 links below. So I hope that this episode has been insightful for you and provided you new lens on how you can step into being a more impactful leader. So thank you very much for watching or listening to this episode, and I'm looking forward to see you very soon.